part of your decision that you have to kind of think about is like the accessibility to the resources. Because it's a smaller school, it's just that much more accessible for that student athlete, right? And that's something that I was really thankful for in my time as a student athlete. Was like, if I needed a tutor, Armando, I could find someone pretty quickly. If I needed help with my chemistry assignment, I could find someone pretty quickly. And again, small school, it was probably someone I knew and trusted and said, you know what, hey, like, shout out to Jill Phillips. Jill Phillips, like, was a women's soccer player here in my time. She's the reason I passed my second year of chemistry.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean?
That's
But
awesome.
like, that's the community you create, and that's kind of what like you need in order to like create that balance and that structure. Is you need to know exactly what you are going to need, what is necessary for you as an individual, and then recognize when you need help and ask for it, right?
For it.
Don't be shy about saying like, I'm struggling in this area. I'm struggling to be the best version of myself. Coach, what do I do? It's like, okay, well, I got you, right? Like, let me help you find some of these resources. Let's get you plugged and make sure that you're finding success in these areas where maybe you're not finding so much success, right?
I think that's key.
It is.
I think so.
It is, but you got to be honest with yourself, and then with that honesty, and sometimes vulnerability, because it's not easy to ask for help sometimes.
Not at all, yeah.
But with that, it's understanding like, okay, this is my format that I need to kind of fall under. Financially, maybe I do need to hold a 9 to 5 or something along those lines. So how is my class schedule going to work within that? How flexible is my employer? How flexible is my coach if maybe like I'm like, hey, I'm running late to practice, you know? Those things are all important to kind of understand, again, in making your decision. And I really appreciate when a prospective student athlete or recruit kind of asks me, like, if I was to hold a position, you know, obviously we hold a really high standard in our program. Guys can't be late. That's how I help designate who should play over who. But when someone's really transparent and honest about their situation, I can be flexible if someone's gonna be a little bit late from their job.
Communicate.
Or from a lab, because maybe they're in a science class that has a 3-hour lab. And our practice was already set at 4:30 p.m. Coach, lab gets out at 4:45. Okay, make sure you're there as close to 4:45 as you can be. And they usually do a pretty good job, you know what I mean? So it's a balancing act for sure. It's not easy. I can't pretend that it's easy, but it takes that discipline and structure and the honesty and vulnerability with yourself to make sure that you are asking for help when you need help, and that you know who to ask, and your coach is always going to be a great resource in order to guide you in that process. So for anyone that's listening to this, make sure you talk to that college coach in the recruiting process about how they can help you when there is those hurdles and obstacles that you need to help overcome, that you need to clear, right?
Right. That's awesome to hear too.